This is my favorite thing to do, so I'm very excited. Thank you all for being here. And yeah, I hope you get something valuable out of it. So we're talking about marketing funnels and email automation and lead magnets, all good things that can get you more business and get you more clients, customers, traffic, etc. So yeah, welcome. Just a sort of what if, paint the picture, right? What if you could do some of the following? Just drive consistent leads, turn into sales for your company. Find 1 to 3 marketing channels where you can really focus. Target the right people, the right message at the right time. This is a big part of marketing, obviously. We'll be talking about some copywriting ideas tonight. And I know there's some copywriters out there too, so that's exciting. Building a list of customers, clients. They regularly buy from you, and then ideally they refer other customers and clients to you, right? And then measure the results of your marketing efforts and your ad spend. If you could do all those things, would that be a good thing? Would your boss be happy? Clients be happy? And you would be mildly happy too. I dare venture. So goals for this training, yeah, you believe you can grow your company's leads and sales through smart marketing. I want to inspire you with some examples, I hope, and even share and brainstorm ideas you can use for your company and your marketing. So hopefully you come away with some great takeaways, and yeah, let's give it a shot. A little bit about me. So this is my 8th year running a digital marketing agency. As of this month, you heard it here, maybe or not. I have a business partner. We are folding our agencies together. So for many years, I've been Get Found Madison and Caravan Digital, doing SEO and Google ads and e-commerce marketing. And I've partnered with a man named Mark Hope, who has asymmetric, and we've become asymmetric marketing. So we're folding these together. I've never had a business partner before, so if anybody has advice, I'm taking it. We're getting it figured out. Our team member and colleague, Melissa's here as well, who's worked with Mark for many years and knows Brooke as well, so that's really exciting. Yeah. So right now, I think we've got a team of 12. This fluctuates, but we're around 11 to 13. And yeah, I really focus on the direct response and driving business. So hopefully you get that impression and you get some ideas to how to do that for yourself as well. I like it. I really started with SEO, started with PPC, got into paid social, then email marketing, all the above, and then really saw how these play together, and we'll talk about that tonight. Yeah, I've trained a lot of people. I love to do workshops. On and on and on, love to speak. This is a great moment. So again, thank you for being here. Let's talk a bit about business growth and context. And I added these slides with inspiration from my new business partner, Mark Hope. He's always talking about competition and sort of the market. And it's easy for us to lose sight of this piece because in whatever market we're in and whatever we're selling, there's a TAM, there's a total addressable market, right? There's people buying and selling, and you've got competitors and so on. And everyone's kind of getting a slice of that total addressable market, right? So if you are tasked with growing your business, as I am and we are with our clients, right? There's sort of some constraints there. It's not just this, sort of free easel where we can make our own art or whatever. It's like we're operating within constraints. There is only so many people buying what we sell, unless we're doing really great marketing like Steve Jobs of creating the market for the iPhone, or even ChatGPT. Like I was thinking about that today of what was the market for like an AI assistant before this, really, right? So it's really great product creators create new markets. That absolutely does happen. And so if you want to grow, if it's a static market, it really is taking away, some of that market share from your competitors. There's no two ways about that. And so that's part of what asymmetric means of you might be up against bigger competitors, or you might just need to do very smart things that really move the needle for you. And so that's a thought. And then if the market grows, that's great. We can all grow together. In my case, if I'm selling digital marketing and marketing services, that's great. I can kind of ride that wave and that tide, right? And so that's one way to grow. But if it's a stagnant market, then there's only so much to go there. You've got to go up against your competition. And in many cases, people are in industries, I don't know if this is the case of anybody here, of the industry, the market for what you're doing is actually shrinking. And it's not that there's no winners in that case, but then you've really got to take some of the pie away from your competitors. And so I think many of us here we don't necessarily think in this sort of cutthroat way. We're all here, some of us here are technically competitors, but we're here to share ideas and be colleagues. That's certainly how I've operated, and I've really benefited from that, and I really believe in that. But it's also it's valuable to think about this piece, and I'm really grateful for my partner Mark talking about this piece, and we'll be generating even more thought leadership on this to come. So what do we influence then? Whether we're an in-house marketer or an agency, we're a freelancer, what do we have influence over? So it's good to kind of go back to a little bit of marketing university or marketing college, which I didn't, many of us studied different things. So it's good to review. What are the 4 P's of marketing? What are we selling, right? What's the product? What's the price? How much are we going to sell it for? Where are we going to sell it? Is this going to be in retail? Is this going to be in Target? Is this going to be e-commerce, right? Are we going to sell through distributors? Those are all those sorts of questions. And then this last piece, promotion. And it strikes me that by the time someone comes to me and my team, they're really looking for this, right? I'm curious for people in this room or people who are interested, do you control the other ones at all? Do you have any say in what you're selling, the prices, and where you're selling it? No. Your job is to promote what we have at the prices we have, at the outlets we're selling them at, or the channels we're selling them at. Is that fair to say? Tell me if I'm wrong. This is interactive, folks.
So So for the place, I think that we can offer up with some of our clients. We can say, hey, you know what? I need to be into this retailer, or this is a location that you should be selling. If you're selling, let's say, a product, gear.
Yeah, that's great. So Melissa, my team member, our colleague at Asymmetric, yes, says sometimes we do advise our clients, maybe it's time to go sell on Walmart. Maybe it's time to sell on Amazon. Maybe you need your own Shopify or WooCommerce site, right? So sometimes you get into that piece, and it's part of the strategic idea too, right? But for many of us, it's this piece, or at least this is what clients or our boss or whoever comes to us, even if we're marketing our own business and we need our own clients, right? It's like, this is kind of where we're starting. It's great if you can influence the others, but tonight we'll kind of focus on this. I'll assume you don't have a lot of choice on, sort of the offer and where you're selling it and what the price is. So given that our job is promotion, it's just 1/4 or one out of 4 components of marketing. How do we influence, right? All right, a little copywriting. This is good. I recommend this book. This is a great one. So Copywriting Secrets from Jim Edwards. Reasons people buy, that looks real small up there, so I'll read them. People want to make money, right? In my example, like we're running lead generation, or we're running, e-commerce marketing for clients. Like they want to do more sales, they want more profits, right? In many cases, people want to save money. That's a good B2B one as well if you're doing operations type consulting or anything else. They want to save time. Basically, everybody in here and everybody is really busy. Is that fair to say? Yeah, this is a big one. Avoiding effort, just making things easier. Escape mental or physical pain. Get more comfort, be more comfortable. Achieve greater cleanliness, hygiene or health. That's an interesting one. Gain praise, feel more loved, right? So in an increased popularity, social status, this is a big one. If you watch Mad Men, a lot of sort of the pitches that Don Draper and team are doing, it's something about this piece of, how does buying this product affect my status? Or Seth Godin talks about people like us do things like this, right? So it's good to have all this in here. This is not necessarily a hopeful vision of humanity, but it is practical for our jobs. And so we need to be real about that. Another book, not to be going to the library here too much, but if you've not read Robert Cialdini's Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, must read. I've probably read it twice. And then there's also pretty good, YouTube summaries and even just online summaries too. An important piece of any book is, what are the main principles? Like, what can you extract out of it and use every day in your life or in your job? So in this case, he's talking about 6 principles of influence. He studied people in sales and marketing that were the best at what they do. And here's what he came up with. Reciprocity. I give you something, you kind of feel in debt to me. I covered the check tonight. Next time we go out to eat, or next time we have drinks, that's on you, right? And it feels a little wrong. As soon as you owe somebody, like something kind of tingles in here, and you're like, ooh, I gotta get them back. Like I can't be in debt to somebody. That doesn't feel good, right? So there's an element of that. Scarcity. We could tie this maybe to urgency as well. If this sale runs out, or even just these products run out, it's only here while supplies last. Authority. Is someone an authority on their subject? Do they really know how to do this? Are they an expert in patent law or whatever it is, whatever I need to hire them for? Commitment and consistency is an interesting one. One of the examples in the book is when the American Cancer Society, they would show up on a Saturday and they would say, hey, do you want to volunteer for the American Cancer Society? And everybody's like, no, sorry, like I got stuff to do. Can't possibly do it. So they changed their tactic and they came around with clipboards and they said, hey, would you ever volunteer for the American Cancer Society? Everyone's like, of course, right? Then they came the next Saturday and said, hey, I see on the list that you wrote your name down and said you would volunteer for the American Cancer Society. we have a need today, can you join us? And it went from well below 50% to well above 50%. So it's as soon as someone says, I'm the type of person who, just like Seth Godin, people like us do things like this. It's like as soon as you've identified as that, you want to present this appearance of I don't change my mind, I'm not wishy-washy, right? I don't flip-flop. Liking, obviously you hear a lot about doing business, people that you know, like, and trust, that is a big deal. And then consensus, I added social proof in here. He doesn't use that phrase, but in our world, that's often what that means. Is this the popular one? Is this the beer that everyone's buying? Is this the movie everyone's going to? Is this, one of my very, very, very favorite books is The Black Swan by Nassim Taleb. And he says, if you use this is years ago, he's like, if you use a word processor, let's say Microsoft Word, if you use a browser, whatever it is, you don't use it because it's the best, you use it because everyone else is using it. It's like, at some point, it's just the standard. Maybe there's some network effects in there, but it's also just like, yep, everybody's going to Oppenheimer, I go to Oppenheimer. Everyone's going to Barbie, I go to Barbie. Like, it exceeds this level of just, this is what everyone's doing, I guess this is what you do, right? So those are the principles. And very simply, we need to help people in these categories. And this is, I think it's, for all the things we talk about, for all the concepts we deal with, it's nice to just really simplify sometimes. Help people improve their health, help them with their time, help them with money, help them with their relationships. Does anybody do work or sell things in here that are outside of these four? There may be a few, but you'd be kind of hard pressed. You could probably squeeze most things under it, right? If we say mental health and so on, like a lot of things fall under that. Good news, this is me, I'm quoting myself like a cartoon character. You can actually get more leads in 90 days. I want to get you excited because we're here to get more business. We're here to get more customers and clients. That's what we talk about. When you create an excellent lead magnet, I bet you guys didn't see that one coming. All right. We're going to the chalkboard, friends. You ready? So probably all of us at our companies or organizations, we have different offerings. We have different products, services, in some cases experiences that we're selling, and there's different levels, right? Is that fair? Does everybody have more than one thing you're selling, right? So there are different price points, and we might catch different customers, clients at different points. And here's the amazing thing, like something about the visual on this like really helps me. So I hope somebody gets something out of this because this was like a big unlock for me. Back in high school, like I probably thought marketing was the most evil thing. And if like 17-year-old me saw 39-year-old me right now, I'd be like, oh man, you sold out, you know. But like this makes me feel better. So get ready. It's when you sell something and you're good at what you do, people get more value than the money they exchange, right? Now, what happens when you buy something and it wasn't a good deal? What happens? You get ripped off, right? Are you happy about that? Like, do you go back to that place? Do you tell other people to go to that place? Do you tell other people not to go to that place? Do you leave a negative online review? I do. Right? So if you're below the line where the value, sorry, I didn't push the button, this green is value, green is good, right? That's the value someone gets, and this is how it should be. If we've been in business for a while, if we're still sitting here, our company's still going, odds are good, we at least have a little green above the white, right? We've got some value that people receive over and above what they pay us. They would prefer, you know, our products, services, experiences to their money, and that's something special, right? So it's less of a big jump to sell anybody anything if we give them free value. Agreed? I'm sure you've seen this 100 times. You know exactly where this is going. You probably have examples of this in your company too, or with your clients, right? And it's just, then it's just a little step up of they received some value, they received a little more value, and then when they're ready for even more value, then they start paying. So it's less of a big jump to go from not a customer or not a client to customer or client. Make sense? This is it. This is the idea right here. So lead magnets go back to Dan Kennedy, and Dan Kennedy was the patron saint, the godfather, the what have you, of direct response, right? And so he was really dealing with ads in newspapers and magazines and direct mail, you know, postcards to people, right? But same idea holds for the internet age. So a lead magnet is something free you give your prospects. Back in the day, it might have been a free report that they mailed to you, a free Sears and Roebuck catalog, right? All those catalog sales were the precursor to e-commerce, right? So it's something free, or it's a free report about the value of homes in Dane County, right? It's something like that where you're just like, okay, here's a little information. It's a chance to learn more, and this is important. It's this alternative of, I'm not ready to talk to a salesperson, right? Would anybody here accept a free consult with a used car salesman? Because we all know, even maybe, I'm not at the risk of offending anyone, even a chiropractor or something like that, we sort of know the jig is up, like, we know this is a sales meeting, right? And I'm just collecting information. And as all of you have seen and experienced, consumers, whether B2B or B2C, are collecting more and more information before they buy. They want to know everything by the time they get to their salesperson, right? They don't want to just talk to the salesperson to get the info, because the info is all out there, right? So we're going to provide them some free info, and it's easier to say, I'm putting in my email, or I'm putting in my address or my phone number, getting something free, and I don't have to talk to anybody. Raise your hand if you hate receiving phone calls. Just wanted to say that out there, right? It's like, what if you have to call them? If you have to call the company, do you hate that? I want to see it again. Hands. Same hands. There's something about that, right? It's like, that step is a big step. Don't underestimate it. This one flies under the radar, where it's, okay, let's send you some more information. This is a chance to stay in touch. Sometimes we talk about the rule of 7. I've seen it's also kind of gone up to the rule of 11. So if you run an ad and no one buys your thing, doesn't mean advertising doesn't work. It might mean they might need to see that ad 10 more times. That's what we're thinking, right? And so when they get on the email list, that's a chance. When they get on your mail list or your SMS list or your call list or whatever, these are all opportunities. So examples of lead magnets, you guys probably know a lot of these too. Buyer's guides, love to see checklists. That's good in my world for digital marketing. A quiz is nice and interactive. A quiz gets a little bit into Cialdini's principle of commitment and consistency, no? Have you ever taken a quiz online and you got to the end and then you had to put in your email? Let's say it was 11 questions. You answered them, you thought about, like, what Game of Thrones character am I, right? And you get to the end and you're like, they're going to email me stuff. I'm going to get on email. I'm going to receive more email. The last thing I want is more email, and yet I already want to know, which character am I? Like, I've come this far, might as well put in my email. Like, it is a form of payment, right? Ebooks, obviously, white papers, et cetera, et cetera. Huge fan of videos and webinars. Let me just say this real quick. And then on-demand webinars, going back to Cialdini and the 6 principles of influence. How many of those do we potentially hit when people watch a video of us? So we've got James Roloff over here. James is great at this, and he spoke at Social Media Breakfast, and throughout his presentation, he had QR codes you could scan to learn more, and it would take you to a free video course. Do I have that right, James? Yeah.
It was like me.
Yeah, that's right.
It was my wife, but still.
All right, we had, yeah. So Emma spoke there, but you're in some of the lead magnets and things like that, right? Yeah, okay. So when someone I assume they have to put in their email to watch your videos, right? For roll-off consulting. Yeah, okay. So let's say they do that and they watch your video. I don't have it up of principles of influence, but of the ones we talked about, like, how many are we hitting on there, right? We're giving you a free thing. We triggered reciprocity. Here's something free. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, right? When you're educating them about something they care about, might they see you as an authority? Seems like it. If you're genuinely likable on the video, could they potentially like you, right? Could you maybe tap into, here's what our other clients did, other people are working with us, there's an element of, social proof consensus. It's like, it's not inconceivable that when someone watches a video of you or someone from your company and, like, you're educating them about the things they care about, you could hit on 3 or 4 out of 6 principles of influence. So that's why I'm, like, belaboring this one of, why not at least have an on-demand webinar? Put in your name and email and watch a 10-minute training, doesn't matter. And they see an actual person, and you've gone from the same sorts of things that your sales team, talks about one-to-one, you're doing one-to-many. Doesn't cost you anything. That salesperson is selling 24/7 just on your website with a little embedded video. That's the idea. Training course, same idea. I think roll-offs, you guys have some of those on those. That's great. Special calculator, you've seen some of these. Anybody have an example of this that they've seen or used? Megan?
In healthcare, we calculated the penalties for some new Medicare law that every hospital would face.
How fun. The penalties of a new healthcare law. That's good. Yeah. I'm picturing in my mind Neil Patel's A/B testing calculator. So you've done split testing on a landing page or an ad, you want to know which one is better. Now, if you just go with which one had a higher conversion rate, you could be fooled by a fluke. There's this whole thing about statistical significance of sometimes when you flip a coin, you'll get 10 heads in a row. Like, it's crazy, but it happens, right? And so you need to reach a certain level of statistical significance to know that landing page B beat landing page A. And so you can check out the A/B testing calculator from Neil Patel. And that's a great example. All right, let's talk about some more example lead magnets, because one of my goals tonight is for you to see some examples and get inspired. Ready? We worked with the Healthy Place for a while. This is pretty standard of take a good portion off. Just like your first order, the entrepreneur, the business owner is just giving up margin, and that's how they get you in. And then once you're a customer, maybe you're gonna buy their supplements more and more, right? Like, there's a whole option of you could get these auto shipped and so on, right? We had a furniture client. This was $100 off. So the first one was % off, and that's obviously like you're giving up some margin, but then they're getting on the list, they're starting to experience your brand and, you know, try your products and so on. They're like getting on that first stair of the value ladder, right? And then just a flat $100 off. Here you go. These guys were selling high-end furniture, at least $1,000 to $2,000 per piece. And so again, giving up some margin, but there you go. We talked about a quiz. This is from Navient, client of ours. Yeah.
Discount or a coupon just to subscribe to.
Yeah. That's right. So when any order above $1,000, you get $100 off. When you subscribe, you get on the email list. Did I answer the question?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the magnet to subscribe.
That's it, yeah. And this is, I'll get more into more lead magnets, but it counts. Like, a discount counts. It's totally fair to throw that out there and use that, right? And we'll show how this one did too. Yeah, that's great. Quiz talked about this. This one was a 14-step quiz. This talking about B2B. I try to include different examples. So we've got some e-commerce, we've got some local business, we've got some business to business, B2B, right? So this is very B2B. How do you get people engaged? How on earth do you get people on your list? Again, going back to the email thing. Does anyone in this room or anyone you've ever met want more email in their inbox? I'm seeing, and for folks at home, I'm seeing heads shaking. We don't want any more email. But do we want to know where we stand on digital transformation? If that's our job and our boss is saying we got to get on top of this, then maybe that's good. If this is going to teach me about how do we, digitize our records and how do we search them and how do we automate our accounts payable, and so on and so on. If this is solving my problems, suddenly it's not just another email. So I hope this is a big takeaway for everybody. If you have an email list, don't just have a little thing in your footer or a pop-up where you're like, subscribe for our updates. I want everyone to change that tonight after this. If you're just saying, hey, do you want some more email? I need you to stop doing that. And you need to stop doing that, just to be clear, all right? This is one we used on Get Found Madison. Just want to learn digital marketing step by step. Here's a chance for a video course and a series of emails, right? On Get Found Madison, we also had Learn Digital Marketing. And so we just had a whole menu of, here's some free lead magnets. Like, here's a way to learn SEO. Here's a way to learn Google Analytics, right? Here's a way to learn Google Ads. You'll see, I have a lot of these where it's a little video of me, often quite a crappy video. Just like bullet points, here you go, name, email, nice big button like George Jetson thought he was going to be doing in the future. You just push the button. That's all anybody has to do for work anymore, right? But it just does it all. Like, there's nothing else. I'm calling this out because at the very top, is there a menu? Is there anything else to do on this page? You could leave. You can watch the video and opt in, or you can peace out. It seems like a weird thing to linger on. This was a game changer. We had a client actually that JJ referred to us. Thank you, by the way. And they were running ads to their website. They sold cars and the financing on cars. And they had a 3.5% conversion rate. Not bad, that's pretty average to good, right? And we just got rid of top menu and kind of reversed the process. So it was like, hey, apply, give us your info to see if you qualify for financing for one of our cars, then we'll show you the cars. And we jumped up to 12, 15, 20% opt-in rates. So if you want your marketing to be highly effective, get rid of everything else they could possibly do on that darn page and make it one button, one thing. It's a big challenge. It's like writing poetry, right? We got to simplify the whole universe and human experience into a few lines. That's what a landing page and an offer and a lead magnet should be. Again, weird, ugly videos of me just in my home office. Hey, I have an SEO checklist for you, right? Nothing else to do except I want the checklist. Yes, please. Experiment with what's that call to action? What's a nice big button that George Jetson can push? When I say that, do you guys get that reference? Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, just checking. That's like my favorite reference. That's basically why I'm still in marketing, so I can keep talking about the Jetsons. So I want to make sure everyone else is enjoying it too. A recent one, I don't know if anybody saw this one. Again, nice crappy video of me saying, what are the top mistakes that you're making on Google Ads, right? I throw this up there. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is on Facebook. So it's running on Facebook and Instagram. It's on Meta, and we're targeting marketers. And I had multiple sales conversations today. I talk to people all the time, and everyone's like, I sell to other businesses. Facebook doesn't work for me. Could be. Like, we all have hypotheses, but we need to test them. So I was like, there's a whole list of people who are marketers, and then they can opt in, and I can just target them. Are you making these Google Ads mistakes? That's simple, like pretty dumb. When they opt in, I link to, I believe, a Google Doc. Nothing special going on. You can see it's a real crappy video. We'll come back to how that went. Google Ad mistakes to avoid. Give me your work email, your full name, and your company name. Thanks, check your email. By the way, here's a video if you want to watch it too. Little bonus they didn't even expect, right? Nothing fancy. And what I like about these, most platforms now have this, including Google, including LinkedIn. Don't think Bing's there yet, but it's like, we don't even need a landing page anymore. That whole thing I said about we need to simplify that landing page, get rid of the menu, get rid of all the other links, just make it one thing that they opt into. Now you can just do it on the platform so that when they're on their smartphone and they're not connected to Wi-Fi, like it can just go faster, right? So it's just magic, and your opt-in rates can be awesome on this, right? Let's talk about the buyer's journey. You guys have all heard this. We're gonna hopefully have a little nice twist on it. At the very top of this funnel, which again, the very, very top of your funnel might be really wide, right? And then people fall out as we go all the way down until we buy, right? But at the top, we have a vague problem or a desire. As we come down, we have a specific problem, right? We might be solution aware. Then we're brand or company aware of who can solve it. And then we're finally ready to buy after we talk to our wives, right? And then maybe there's a chance to repeat purchase or buy something else that's related. Everyone knows this one, but is this familiar? Can we think of this? The one I like to talk about, which is a funny example, is lower back pain. If anybody else has that. It's like you sort of think, I guess the chiropractor's the thing, right? But there's all these other solutions. It's like you can get an inversion table where you like lie on this table and just like go semi upside down diagonal. Like that's kind of cool. And then on the hardcore end, there's like moon boots. So I don't know if was that something Batman did? Where like you put it in your door frame and you hang upside down and you just like hang upside down and blood rushes to your head and that like decompresses your spine. Okay, why am I talking about this? So at the top, it might be a vague problem where it's like lower back soreness, I don't even know. Then we get to specific problem. Okay, this is like kind of painful. I don't like sitting and working on a computer all day, right? And as we get to solution aware, if a chiropractor caught me, if with an ad of that moment, I might go to the chiropractor. If I saw a weird ad for moon boots or an inversion table, I might think about it, right? So it's like that's how impressionable we are at each step of this, right? And then like, what's the best moon boots company? I'm obviously going to YouTube and I'm like, seeing who's got the best moon boots and is this gonna work? Like in my apartment, like is this gonna tear down the frame? You get a whole thing, right? So this is an experience that we go through. Hope that paints a picture. Let's go along the buyer's journey, right? So with that vague problem or desire, and we're a marketer, that's where we can hit them with a lead magnet. Make sense? One moment on this. We're about to have the Super Bowl, right? And what do we watch at the Super Bowl? We watch ads. And what kind of ads are those in general? They're amusing, but in marketing parlance and advertising parlance, what kind of ads are they usually? Brand awareness, that's right. This is Budweiser, this is Coca-Cola, et cetera, et cetera. With brand awareness, I often think of it's Christmas, Santa's like doing something with the polar bears. I'm aware of Coca-Cola, right? But thinking back to the pie, could any of us grow the pie for our company if we were just kind of blasting all of Dane County and Wisconsin with just ads to be aware of our brand? Maybe, right? But how do we get more specific? Now, does anyone remember the Coinbase ad? It was a couple years ago, it was just a QR code that bounced around the screen. And when you scan that puppy, it took you to Coinbase to set up for the crypto exchange sort of thing. That was direct response because it elicited me to do something even from my TV in the middle of the Super Bowl. So just a thought. So we got a vague problem or desire. This could be a lead magnet. We got a specific problem. That back is starting to tweak me. Here are 4 alternatives to chiropractors, right? That's the idea. Solution aware. Think about a search engine ad. This is a Google ad, potentially a Bing ad. 1 in 5 searches on desktop in the US are on Bing, just so everybody knows. And then Bing runs Yahoo as well. So you could even do it here. You know, have that specific ad with the automobile company we talked about. We would say apply to potentially get financing on your next auto loan, right? But this could also be a chance to educate. Sign up for this free video to learn more, right? Brand solution aware, this is where they're comparing you. We're seeing who's the best chiropractor in town, who has the best moon boots, what's the best inversion table, right? And I want to see not just what do you say, but what are your customers and clients saying? That's what I care about, right? So email's a moment there and remarketing ads are a moment there. There's a whole other topic we can talk about over beer later about what's happening with cookies and how much harder it is to remarket. Totally fair game. It's getting harder to reach people's inboxes too. Totally fair. If we have time for Q&A, bring it up. Buying moment, sale, yep. And then don't forget the repeat purchase. What else can we sell them? Can we get them on subscription? Can we sell them more of that? This is important. Can we get referrals? Is there some bonus that they can give their friends to buy from us too? All important stuff, don't neglect it. All right, just to throw in another metaphor, because why not? We got pie, we got funnels, it's time for a thermometer. So the thermometer is upside down from the funnel. I just have to include this because maybe it makes more sense to you, I don't know. So at cold then, they have a problem, but we don't know that there's a solution, right? Warm, we're looking for a solution, but we don't know about you. So in the case of cold, I'm getting like a lower back tweak, right? Warm, I understand that there's this weird thing where like you strap yourself in a table and you kind of go semi upside down, but I don't know about you and you sell inversion tables, right? And then hot is like, I got lower back pain. I am going to buy one of these things. I don't want to go to the chiropractor. I don't want moon boots because that's weird. I'm going to buy an inversion table. Is it going to be from you or not? That's the idea on temperature, right? And so have different ads at each of these levels or different marketing. So if you're not doing ads, this could apply for different marketing as well. And this is where we start to do full funnel marketing, or we could say full thermometer marketing, right? And even have different landing pages where you're matching up whatever ad they see on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, display campaigns, whatever it is, it should match, right? So it kind of feels continuous even though they're going to your site from wherever they were. And then it matches. All right, who's heard of this book? It's called Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. I got there. Nobody knows this one? Fun fact about this book, it costs $359 on Amazon. So if nothing else, I hope you will get $359 of value when I summarize something from this book. Ready? I'm going to read it. If your prospect is aware of your product and has realized that it can satisfy this desire, your headline starts with the product. If he is not aware of your product, but he has only the desire itself, your headline starts with the desire. And lastly, if he is not yet aware of what he really seeks, but is concerned with the general problem, your headline starts with the problem and crystallizes into a specific need. Make sense? So we got, what is that? Cold on the bottom, top of funnel on the bottom. Make sense? Eugene Schwartz, baby. $359 right there. Here's another classic of direct response, the Robert Collier Letters book. Again, people used to just send out letters and get some sales back, and they would have to crunch the numbers to see if it made sense. That all lives in Facebook Ads Manager now. It's like we just have these things and we just kind of take them for granted. Like it's real, actually. Like this used to like take months or whatever to tally the results of your direct response marketing. Okay? Did I even read with the quote? No, I didn't. Writing a good ad begins with entering the conversation already taking place in your prospect's mind. You guys think that's a good one? This is good. We've all got dialogue going on inside, right? And so we enter that conversation. What is the conversation in your prospect's mind? I'm assuming here, we don't get into it, that you've got a customer persona or a customer avatar. You've even got an image and a name and some poster put up or something in Google Slides or somewhere or PowerPoint of this is who I'm selling to, this is who we need to reach. And if you haven't, do it. It seems like weird busy work, but it's powerful. And so let's say we're marketing to Jim, who has lower back pain, and he's thinking about going to the chiropractor, but he could be open to something else, right? What is the conversation going on in his mind? What are the problems he has? Back pain. What are the interests he has? Curing that back pain, right? What are the fears he has? Maybe back surgery or something more serious, right? Or am I always going to feel this way? Am I going to be able to work again, right? What are my goals? I obviously want to alleviate that. What are the results I want? I want to feel good again and be able to sit down all day or do whatever I need to do without the pain, right? What are the expectations I have if I pay somebody for their moon boots or their inversion table or their chiropractic? Like, what do I expect? This is important because it's not just that sale. It's like, is the green line above the white price, right? Did they receive value over and above what they're expecting? This is really important. So if you're in client services, as Melissa and I are, it's very important when we get a new client to just like spend some serious time on this because we have no idea where they're at. And if their expectations are up here and we knock it out of the park, but that's really down here, even though we did a great job, they're not happy, right? And so this is important in sales. It's important in marketing as well. Obviously their desires and so on. We talked about Don Draper and Mad Men. You get the idea. How do we reach people then? Briefly, okay, what do people do on their devices? I try to simplify. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of websites. There's a lot of apps. We're all very busy. We browse social media. We use YouTube, right? We read and use websites. We search Google or other search engines. We check our email. We could maybe now we use ChatGPT, right? But these are the things we're doing. So what are the buyer's channels then? Sorry, did you want to see that? Doing it on their devices, social media, YouTube, websites, Google, email, maybe ChatGPT fits somewhere in there now, right? Here's what they're doing. Where do we reach them? So we are marketers. Where will they see us? We could prospect to them with social media ads, display ads, YouTube ads, LinkedIn ads, etc. Right? I guess so. LinkedIn is a social media. So search engine results page. This could be with SEO. This could be with a blog post or a product page or with an ad, right? The PPC ad. How about those remarketing ads? As long as we can do it, let's do it, right? Email nurture. They've gotten on our list. They took our lead magnet. We didn't just tell them to get it on our email for no reason and subscribe. We gave them something in exchange, and now they're hearing from us, right? So don't worry, we're getting there, folks. We're going to generate a list of people who are interested in what we offer. We're going to start with providing them value. This is going to be the first little green steps on the stairs. Ready? I'm quoting myself again. I'm a little cartoon character. We got more good news. You can see better results, do less work through automation. Who likes email marketing? I see a few. You guys know the power. Who does email marketing? More people do it than like it. Okay. All right. Here's a reason. If you convert 3.5% of visitors, as the client that JJ referred to me did, right? What is that? 96.5% just leave the website and peace out and never come back? That's not cool. You're doing a lot of work to get all that traffic to your site. Question or thought on that? Question or thought? No. Okay. Feel free to interrupt at any time, I'm saying now at the end. Not everyone's ready to buy right now. Not everyone's ready to contact you. Not everyone wants to have the free consult with your used car salesman, right? But you still want to stay top of mind and you want people to buy from you again, right? So remember all those principles of trust, authority, liking, reciprocity, maybe consensus and social proof, all those things that influence people. We want to get that started, right? Running ads costs money. It costs more all the time because these are auctions. More and more and more money goes in and you get less and less traffic and fewer and fewer, leads and clients and customers out of it. So here are the downsides of an email newsletter. Before I list them, what are some of the downsides of an email newsletter?
It's an email. I said it's an email.
It's an email. Why is that a downside? Inbox is already full. How about from your perspective as the marketer, just your day-to-day work? What's the downside?
Too much information.
Too much info. Yeah. Yeah. I would say you have to keep coming out with content. James is great at this. Who else is sending email every single week to their list or some subset of their list? I see Melissa, I see James. Not that many of us. I should be. I'm not, right? It's just a lot of work. But here's the bigger reason. Subscribers are at different points of that buyer's journey. They have different temperatures on the thermometer. They're on different parts of the funnel. And you're just like, hey, I'm speaking in Fitchburg tonight. Come join me. Someone might have just gotten on the list or they may have been on my list for 5 years. That may or may not work. It's better than nothing. But what about taking them on a little journey? Let's pretend this is organic chemistry. Who had this class in college? Who could pass this class right now? Megan? She had it. Okay. This is a tough one, right? So here's where we're going to start instead. We're going to go to kindergarten. Nothing insulting about it. You live and breathe whatever you do all day long. Many of your customers or clients have never bought this before. Is that fair to say? Depends on your industry, right? But some people, I never bought this before. I don't even know how to buy this thing. People tell me that all the time about digital marketing. So when people join a sequence, educate and sell them in an actual logical series like you would do in a conversation, instead of acting like we're in a group in a circle and they just came into the circle and they have no idea what we're talking about, right? So upsides of a lead magnet to an email sequence, we can learn about their problems, frequently asked questions, choices, and the benefits of what we offer. They can actually receive information in the order that they need it to make a buying decision. They don't have to commit to that uncomfortable sales conversation because they're not ready. And when people join our list, they aren't baffled by random newsletter content that does not apply to them. Sound fair? By the way, open rates, click rates, sales conversion rates increase. Is that important, James?
I think so.
Doesn't hurt, right? Like that's what we're trying to do when we send an email. These are the things we want to have happen. And here we go. Eagan, you buried the lead, buddy. You can build it once, and it just keeps working for you. You could even stop for a while, send in your email newsletter. And people will keep getting your emails because there's like new people getting on the list, new stuff going on. So a normal email newsletter open rate, I'm calling it 20%. Was this what you guys see? Give or take, más o menos. All right, here, remember the $100 off a $1,000 piece of furniture? We had a 79% open rate, 28% click rate. So the click rate's higher than the average open rate. And then a 3.8% order placed rate. This is in Klaviyo, almost $14,000 in sales. So yeah, they want the promo code. They're going to save $100, but we're also making sales. We're getting a customer, right? And then just to go back on that real quick, by the end then, even, follow us on social media. Check out our best sellers. Our tables don't chip. These were like zinc tables. It was kind of interesting, right? So here you go. Here's like a series of emails. You build it once, you build it, and they just keep coming, right? All right, here's me. Remember the SEO checklist with me in my home office, just like with a crappy video. There it was. Top one, here's the SEO checklist. They'll make you $, $, 57.5%. 6 emails later, 37%. I'm still better than any of your guys' stupid little newsletters. Sorry. Quick conversation, because I'm not spending a lot of time on this. Of these 6 emails I send over the course of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 weeks, how many of these do I sell in and how many of these do I educate in? It's not there's no way you would know, but what's a good rule of thumb?
Rule of thumb, 80-20.
Yeah, that's about what it is, yeah. So maybe one of these is selling my course. Why not learn SEO step by step? You can buy my SEO course. Otherwise, just like, here's some more free information for you, right? Now, back to it. Hey, Eagan, this is nice. Does this actually generate any business? Does this ring the register? That's what we're all about, right? So, yep. Somebody got on that very list. Literally, I'm not kidding you. Spent $100, just like, let's do a little test on Facebook. Here's that free SEO checklist. Within a month, someone was like, hey, do you guys offer website development? Oh yeah. Oh, you guys need 2 websites? Oh yeah. We could do each one for $20,000. So I spent $100. Someone bought my course, and so that liquidated the cost of the ad. So it's like the advertising was free, and we got a lead that was worth $20,000. Here's another. Here, I throw this one in there too. Same checklist. Hey, Eagan, reached out to you some time ago, wasn't prepared at that time to make an investment in SEO. Now I'm ready to. What would the next step be? Schedule a phone call or meet in person. Remember the thing about we're kind of building this for later. Everyone on your sales team just wants calls and leads and sales right now. But we are marketers and we have to plan ahead. And this is going to take 30, 60, 90 days to start seeing some of these come in. But when they do, it's like we never would have caught them before. We would not have gotten these. Remember upper Midwest marketers? Somehow between Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, between entrepreneurs and marketers, we have 6.4 to 7.6 million. Seems a little high, but all right. Remember this one? Google Ads mistakes, there you go, give me your email. Okay, we tag these in our CRM, it's high level. So it says the session source was paid social. We get a little tag, top Google Ads mistakes. Oh yeah, I'm gonna find out on Friday, do we get $20,000? How much did that cost me? Let's check Facebook ads. Okay, $641. By the way, we got 32 people on the list getting a series of value from me that maybe they could, hire me in the future, right? $20,000. So I think that $641.60 is less than $20,000. Is that correct? So if you do this, are you doing your job? There's going to be some margin on that. I don't get $20,000 profit, but even 5% profit, that makes sense, right? All right, we're wrapping up. Don't worry, everybody. Let's workshop some lead. How are we doing on time? I can tell everyone needs a drink.
9:26.
That means it's time to stop. All right. Should we do one, or are you guys done? We're gonna do one. Who's got a business and you're like, what would my lead magnet be? Who's got one?
1 second.
Let's pass the mic around for this.
Thank you, Wes. And then I promise we'll be done. Who's got a business? Does anybody need leads? Yeah, it's good. Do you
Sure,
Need, do you
I'll
need
play
leads,
ball.
Wes? Okay, sounds good. Who buys from you?
Companies that are large enough to have a marketing team, but not their own videographer, and human resources.
Okay, that's good. And what role are they in at the company?
They're on the marketing team, so that can vary whether or not they're the decision maker.
Okay, marketing team or someone
Yeah.
like there. Okay, what's something that people ask you all the time when you're in a sales conversation? Any concerns that come up?
I would say there's ultimately like smaller things like, oh, how do we get permission to use music and stuff? Ultimately, price is the main concern with them.
Okay.
Though.
Yeah. Are there videos that you see, like maybe mine, that just make you cringe, that are terrible?
Yes, however, it depends. Our positioning is that our videos, like the do-it-yourself videos, there's certain videos that you should do yourself,
sense,
and then
yeah.
there's certain videos that you invest money in.
Okay. What's like a horrendous mistake that someone could make, you know, hiring someone for video or what have you? Like,
Yeah, so our biggest value proposition is time. So for example, in addition to the video, like if we're interviewing the CEO or if we're interviewing someone else's client and that creates an unprofessional experience or we ended up wasting the people's time,
Yeah.
that's one mistake that comes out of it.
okay, how much time could be wasted?
How valuable is an hour of your CEO's time?
Oh, that's a lot. We're into hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, yes?
Yeah,
cases.
well,
Yeah.
debatably, I don't work with those companies.
Okay,
but,
yeah, well, you never know. All right,
more than my
so
hourly
it costs them
rate.
time, it costs them money if it's done wrong. Could it reflect negatively on their brand if it's a total mess?
Yeah, so if we're doing a client testimonial, we're on stage. Sorry, this isn't meant to be a sales
That's
pitch,
okay.
everybody. I am trying to be contributing. So if we're doing a client testimonial, we're representing our client in front of the other person's client. So if we do a bad job, it makes our client look bad.
Yeah.
But if we do a good job, it makes them look good
Okay,
too.
sounds good. So going back to those motivators, we're gonna save people time. Remember this, why do people buy? We're gonna save people time, we're gonna save them money, we're gonna make them look good to their peers, and we're gonna avoid the embarrassment of not looking good to their peers. Is that fair to say? Yeah. Anybody got some ideas on this? Seems like you could create video, I assume. You guys could be on video, you could build trust. What's like a free guide or a free training? I'll do one, but I want to hear, does anybody have an idea of what Wes could do?
Well, maybe you mentioned there are some videos that could be kept in house and to provide tips on how they could.
Yeah. Okay, how to make better videos in-house that don't embarrass you, that save you time and money, right? Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
That's a good idea.
And that could be a little video training, and they put in their email. In exchange, they might get a series of links to videos of you going through different things about videos, right? Mm-hmm. And on email number 4, 5, or 6, then you tell them about your services and how they could hire you after you've provided them multiple stair steps of value. What do you think?
I think that's a good idea.
All right.
And if they try the video in-house and it's too difficult, they know where to find me.
All right, perfect. What do you guys think? Could it work? And
How much do I owe you, Eagan?
Yeah, that's right. We could probably appreciate it. All right, you get the idea. And where might we reach those people? Could we find them on Facebook? Does it turn out? Maybe, right? Could we run display ads? Could we do it on LinkedIn? There's a Microsoft Audience Network where you can target industry, role, company, geography. Yeah, we've got some options, right? That's it. All right, thank you. It's me. That's all. Check us out at asymmetric.pro.